guys. I am going to do an example in let's see, example number 1 in chapter 7 involving the normal distribution. So let's begin. Click on the link for Ask My Instructor. And the first part asks us multiple choice to use what's called sometimes called the empirical rule. So when you have data which is roughly normal, you take the average, you add one standard deviation, which means you go from the middle and you go up the amount of the spread, which is around physically half this line here, here to here. You're going to contain 68% of the data. If you go up, and then you go back, you subtract the standard deviation. If you go 2 standard deviations, it's going to contain 95%, and 3 standard deviations is going to be 99.7%. So let's do the numbers. We're starting out with a mean of 24.8. 24.8 plus, 24.8 plus 6.2, which is the standard deviation, 0.2, equals 31. So we go from 31 with 1 standard deviation, so this can't be the right answer. This can't be the right answer because we know it has to be 31 above it. This is 37. So this has got to be the answer. So from here to here is 68% from 18.6 to 31. And if you take 24.8 and you subtract 6.2, you're going to get 18.6. So from 18.6 to 31 is 68%. So this is the right answer. Okay, now using that logic, what interval do we expect 99.7% to be? Well, 99.7, they actually give it to us here. This is from here to here is 95%. And from 6.2 to 43.4. I would say the numbers on the graph are correct, 6.2 to 43.4. But you can get it directly by taking 3 standard deviations. You multiply the 6.2 by 3, which is 18.6, add it to 24.8, and you should be getting 43.4. And we're right. Now, what percentage should we get more than 31? Well, again, we're using this graph. And from here to here is 68%. Remember, we just said from up to 31 is 68%. From here, how much is left? Well, if this is 68%, 100 minus 68% is, what is that, 32%. And that means this piece here has to be 16%, and this piece here has to be 16%. So the answer has to be roughly 0.16, 16%. Again, the logic is that if this from here to here is 68%, everything else, because the whole graph adds up to 100%, 100 take away 68, divided by 2 is the answer. Finally, how many are between 31 and 37.2? Well, 31, remember, from 31 to the end, we just said is 16%. And this last piece, this is from here to here is 95%. And so let's see if we can figure this out. 37.2. From here to here is 5%. And the remainder, standard deviations, is going to be 37.2. You know what? There's another way to do this, but let's just work it out. How much is between 31 and 37.2? Well, from 31 to the end is 16%. From 37.2 to the end is 2.5%, because Remember, from here to here is 95%. So this little piece has to be the missing 5% divided by 2. So you take 16%, take away 2.5%, that comes out to 13.5%. So I would say 13.5%. Hey, work. Grab. Okay, the worst 2.5%. Well, remember, from here to here, this here to here is 95%. This is the missing 5%. And each half of it is 2.5%. So anything below 12.4 is 2.5%. 12.4. Now, before we go on to the next question, I believe there's a stat crunch way of solving it. Let me see if I can do that. Stat crunch. I'm not logged into stat crunch. Let's try it again. Oh, I am logged. Oh, let's see. Stat crunch. I think that's why it didn't work. Let's log in. Log in. Now we can go back to and get the help from StatCrunch. Okay, this is an alternative way of solving this problem. I remember seeing it in StatCrunch. Let me just hope it opens up. Stall it for time because I don't want to waste your time. What I can pause the tape, I believe. Okay, took me a couple of minutes to open up StatCrunch, but here it is. Share again. And I was going to show you how to get that empirical rules, the 68, 95, 99.7 rule. You go to Stat, Calculators, Normal, and tell it the mean of this example. Again, the numbers might have changed because the interim, but let's go. The mean of this example is 26.8 and 6.2. 26.8, 26.8, and 6.2. And we want, here it is. So when you click on between, this opens up. And this is it. All you got to do is you type in the mean, the standard deviation. Between, this opens up. You click on this. It just tells you that between 20.6 and 33 is 68%. Between 14.4 and 39.2 is 95%. And 8.2 and 54.4 is 99.7%. So let's go back to the question. So let's see, what did we just say it was? Let's try it for 20.6 and 33. 20.6, 20.6, and 33. That's right here. This is the right answer. So that explains why that's the right answer. Notice that this one. Back to crunch. Using the rule, how many have found 68% or 19.4? Let's read it off the graph in 31. And the rest of it we went through. I'm not sure you can get that from StatCrunch. Let's just check. Let's see how many more than 31 miles per gallon. Let's see, 31 miles per gallon. How many more than 31 miles per gallon? So we went go back to tween, I'm sorry, the standard, more than, changes to more than, make this a 31, and compute. And it comes out to 24.9%. 31 miles per gallon. You'd be right. And that wasn't even the question. What percentage? More than 31. Notice we have two different examples. 31. I think this was the example we were doing. More than 33. This one. More than 33. 33. Compute. And 15 points or 16%. So it gives you, this is the exact answer, but this empirical rule is rounded to 16%. Anyway, this is an alternative way of getting the answer. I will come back to this calculator in the next example. Portions mixed together. This was 16%. Okay, anyway, I'm going to stop here.